Hey everyone, Rissy here. I am going to be talking about how I ended up getting my gallbladder removed and what steps I went through to end up in surgery. Before I do anything, I want to show you my post-op picture of my belly, just so you can see that with this new YouTube thing with no editing. I haven't quite figured out where to edit my videos now, so this is gonna be pretty rough. I just wanted to show real fast my stomach. This is the picture of the post-op. As you can see, this is where they had the surgery. Yeah, so that is the picture of me. So now I'm going to put my clip on my phone. Yay! Okay, so my diagnosis story. So I had been in pain starting in September. Oh man, this is wiggling. Oh, wiggles. Oh, I made it worse. Oh no. Okay, so in September I had just started school again, and this is once again became a semester of me starting school on a high note and then having to withdraw from my classes. So once again I haven't graduated. Anyways, so gallbladder. I had a ton of pain, very bad pain, sharp pain, and an achy pain as well in my right upper abdomen and like kind of under my rib cage, and it had gone all the way to my back. So it was just like weeks and weeks of agony trying to figure out what it was. And I didn't really, and I'd go to the ER while I was waiting for my scan the first time, and they did an ultrasound, and they found what's called sludge in there, and sludge is kind of an indication that your gallbladder isn't exactly working up to standards, and that something is going on. So, but it was not of immediate concern, so they sent me home with some pain medicine until I was able to see the doctor again. And from there, my doctor sent me in for, it was either an MRI scan or a CT scan. I can't exactly remember it, but it was of my right abdominal region where my gallbladder is, and that didn't show any gallstones. So they had me do a HIDA scan, which is a very long scan. It's meant to show how well your gallbladder is functioning and if there are any like leaks in the tubing that connects it to the intestine and to the liver. And so basically that scan, you lie down for about 2 hours and a half. Mine was about 2.5 hours, and basically they give you something to drink, and then they also have an IV, and they inject fluorescent dye into you that goes to the gallbladder, and basically they measure through the time how long it takes or if the dye to go through the gallbladder and how fast it's emptying. And so with that, they're able to calculate like the functioning level of the gallbladder. Mine was not functioning fully, so it did show that there was something the matter. It just wasn't at a level where they're like super concerned, but I was still having so much pain. I went to the surgeon and he decided that it needed to be taken out. So about 2 months later, I got my gallbladder out in December 1st. Pre-surgery was pretty simple, just not eating the day before, and then kind of on a liquid diet. Also, I'll go into this in another video, but during this time, they were worried that I might have some intestinal paralysis, so I had problems with my bowel emptying, or my stomach emptying fast enough, so I'll go into a video about that and the test they did for that. But anyways, the surgery went well. It was pretty simple in comparison to the bowel resection I had before. I was able to go home that same day. It was endoscopic, so like I said in the after and showed you in the picture, they're just tiny incisions, and they go in with the camera, and they do it all that way. Oh, ha! There we go. It's the recovery that was a little bit more complicated, and I'm still kind of recovering. Basically, your body has to relearn how to digest without the help of a gallbladder. So the gallbladder's main function, it holds the bile so that when you have a meal with a lot of fat in it, it can release all the bile at once and aid in the digestion of that fat. So without the gallbladder, you don't have that I guess large amount of bile waiting, and so basically you have like a constant dripping of bile instead of an influx of bile after eating. So basically digesting after the surgery is a slow process, and eating like really fatty foods is difficult. So you start off eating really simple foods, and then you slowly add in solid foods, and then other foods. And each time, if something upsets your stomach, or if you start getting upset, then you go back to the liquid diet, and then you start all over again, excluding the food that made you sick. So that took a really long time, and I would still say somewhat recovering still, although I'm pretty much back to normal. It's just, you know, the really fatty foods I still can't really eat at all. And that it might just stay that way, but I wasn't really able to eat them before either. So yeah, that's kind of my story about my gallbladder. I had chronic inflammation of my gallbladder, most likely due to my Crohn's disease. Could be for another reason, but they're pretty sure it was for my Crohn's. So yeah, if you want to learn more about any of the steps that I took to reach my diagnosis, or want to know more about certain aspects of the surgery or the recovery, leave me a comment and I will do my best to answer it. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.